Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I've been promising to do an expose on the fact that Jeffrey Epstein's original jail records, as I suspected, as I predicted over the years, seem to be completely doctored in many cases, have all sorts of red flags, and just like I said before, there is no real evidence that he was checking in and checking out when he said he was. Now, there have been a lot of revelations over the last couple of weeks after Epstein was arrested. And first, there was going to be an internal investigation to how he was treated after it came out that $128,000 was paid to Palm Beach officers for security detail while he was on this work release program, hint, hint. And now the Daily Beast, who's done a lot of great work, has gotten a lot of the internal records. And guess what? There's red flags all over them, and they contradict. This was through an FOIA. They contradict other internal documents they'd already gotten, which suggests a lot of these may be doctored. Now, aside from the internal investigation, that's now been brought into a criminal investigation, but no one's talking about the fact that a state senator in Florida who's been pressing for this actual internal criminal investigation into how Epstein was treated has also been threatened on numerous occasions and brought that to law enforcement as well. I've seen that in zero headlines, and that report came out of CBS Miami 3 days ago. So let's start here with the documentation that's going to show you that a lot of these records of when Epstein came in and out are very suspect. Some are not even signed by officers. How he logged extra miles when he was supposed to travel about 20, 25 miles. Oh, all of a sudden he's going 76. He has unaccounted for time. The Palm Beach police that have private security detail in their own internal records confirm there were times where they let Epstein go into a private residence with another female. That's how he did his jail time, folks. So let's get into it. Daily Beast, again, props. Props to them for this. Jeffrey Epstein's lenient 2008 conviction for his sexual assaults on adolescent girls may be described as one of the greatest travesties of justice in recent history. Brad Edwards, an attorney for many of Epstein's victims, announced last week that Epstein continued to prey on young women while serving his sentences in Palm Beach. And remember, we played that lone clip of one of the private investigators talking about that and talking about new information. Unlike other sex offenders in Florida, Epstein had his own wing of the Palm Beach County Jail and liberal work release policies. Due to this new information, the Miami Herald reported the Palm Beach County Sheriff's PBSO had suddenly opened an internal affairs investigation of Epstein's incarceration. And again, we're going to go over how that's not just an internal affairs investigation, it is now a criminal investigation, and it has expanded. As part of my research on the Epstein case, I sent an FOIA request earlier this summer to the PBSO concerning Jeffrey Epstein. I was asked for two records, work release list entries and the visitor information logs. Pretty simple stuff, right? 6 days later, I received an email requesting that I phone to clarify my request. There should be no clarification, but come on, we know where this is going. I thought this was strange because work release list and visitor information log are the exact names of the documents that I already knew the PBSO maintained. The officer I spoke with on the phone seemed reluctant to provide the records. He intimated that they were for an older inmate and probably not kept. When I pressed him, he then described the records as possibly handwritten and difficult to obtain. It seemed as if this might be no records, but then inexplicably, several days later, an email with 3 PDF attachments arrived in my inbox. And this is where it gets interesting and contradictory in many cases. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office sent me 149 pages of work release sign-in sheets and in two batches. Additionally, they returned a single-page visitor log. However, I had already had other visitor logs for Epstein from other sources, which suggest they did not release all the records to me. Many of the work release forms were duplicates and not 149 separate records for each of his work release days. If someone did not comb through each page carefully, they might falsely believe the relevant records were provided. Another document I obtained separately from the FOIA. This is key. Because again, this is going to show you, all right, that they actually got 77 actual days of Epstein's work release from October 28th to July 29, okay? And you can look at these logs, and you can clearly see here how it should be, all right? Take a look. That's where you get a badge number and an officer to sign in and out when he returned, all right? But here, there's a ton of them. Not only that, where the times are changed, there is no badge number, there is no sign-in. Here's another where it's the case on many an occasion on there. No officer's signature. See that? 11/28, 11/29, 11/30, 12/1. When I say that I doubted he even came in and out at night, I meant it. This man had all the money in the world to spend, and we already know now $128,000 to run security. Hey, you wanna double or triple your paycheck this month? Steve, go work private security for Epstein. Don't ask too many questions. Okay? And now you look at how closely he was monitored. He was, I mean, come on. They called him a model prisoner. They knew what the rules were. However, one of the deputies in a document I viewed from July 11, 2019 reported that they contacted their sergeant to get some clarity on the duties and responsibilities while at the residence, while they were providing security. And here's an automated violation report. Okay, this is what I was talking about, where there was a log where they actually saw Epstein go in with another woman, I believe for 2.5 hours, and they stayed out in the car. Some jail time, huh? Some jail time, huh? See here? 4 miles, 16 miles, about 20. 75 miles on the distance were logged that day. So weird. It's so weird how there's unaccounted for time and miles, and he's protected by the police at a private rate. So now I want to go over here, and as I said right now, there's a state senator in Florida who's really pressing this, and no one's talking about it, and she's been threatened, and I'm not seeing it in the news.
Well, Jim, I'm told that State Senator Book just learned earlier today of the fact that the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is now opening a criminal investigation into this whole Epstein situation, as how it was handled by their deputies. Now, the Sheriff's Office up there in Palm Beach County, they actually opened this criminal investigation 2 days ago. PBSO is not commenting on the criminal investigation, nor are they commenting on that internal investigation that they opened last week. Meanwhile,
now you see that? Like, again, there's 2 different investigations going on now. First, it was internal affairs, and then a criminal investigation started. It was kind of hush-hush, and now they're announcing it.
Senator Book says that there's a lot of important questions that need to be answered here. Another day, another bombshell development in the Jeffrey Epstein saga. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office announced late Thursday afternoon that they've opened a criminal investigation into the actions of deputies related to Epstein's sweetheart work release deal 11 years ago. Epstein avoided federal charges and received only 13 months in jail, as well as work release privileges as punishment for sexually abusing young girls.
Work release privileges. Again, I don't even know if you call this work release. I would say that maybe he came into the jail every once in a while when he wanted to be seen in his private wing to make it look good for authorities.
Under Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, Epstein was allowed to go to an office and to his Palm Beach mansion with little supervision over what he did and who he saw.
Remember, sir, at first it was an office to work, and now it's a Palm Beach mansion, and now we can't find the logs. We don't know how he logged all these miles.
As a survivor of sexual abuse myself, you feel invisible.
We spoke to Florida Senator Lauren Book earlier this week when she called on Governor Ron DeSantis to order FDLE to look into Epstein's deal and how the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office handled it.
This is a teachable moment for all of us, for survivors out there to know that we will not allow a system to exist that would allow for a monster to continue to victimize them or others.
Book says she's received at least a dozen threatening messages.
Let me stop that. Book says she's received at least a dozen threatening messages. You're going to find out she's brought those to law enforcement. This is a state senator in Florida pressing for more information on this case and why it happened. And let's hear what some of those threats are.
from supporters of Palm Beach County Sheriff Bradshaw with messages like this: "You don't want to get into this. Let it go. Little girl, you're barking up the wrong tree." She's reported them to State Capitol Police.
How is this not a headline anywhere else? You know, how did I barely come across this? I didn't see this anywhere. So you got a state senator that's really been pushing for it, and now there's threats against her that she's bringing to law enforcement.
Late Thursday afternoon, Senator Book released a statement reacting to PBSO's criminal investigation. The statement reads in part, "Senator Book respects and appreciates that Sheriff Bradshaw has recognized the need to begin a criminal investigation, but she believed that was exactly what PBSO was already doing, looking at what happened to see if someone broke the law or if a systemic failure occurred." Senator Book maintains her assertion that an independent body should and must come in to investigate, not just PBSO.
Totally agree with all of that. And in other Jeffrey Epstein news, all right, now we talked about Tartiglione and, you know, how he was possibly a suspect in the assault, but now he's saying that he was the one that saved Jeffrey Epstein's life and that they were in a cell together. So there's a whole bunch of different information out there. You know, they're cellmates, they're not cellmates. They're in the special housing unit. In this article, they describe the mold, the rats, the terrible conditions, no sunlight, etc., etc. Remember, this guy's accused of a quadruple murder, shooting people in the back of the head over a cocaine deal gone wrong. This guy. And his lawyer's saying that, and by the way, that we went over this report already. I didn't have the detail. He was actually a victim of an assault in that same wing of the prison where another inmate apparently put a lock inside of a sock and hit him in the head with it. So there's no doubt. I mean, take a look, guys. I promise you that this place is rife with corruption. We need Epstein alive, 100%. He should be under 24/7 surveillance, in solitary. He should have a camera on him, physically on. He should be wearing a body camera on top of cameras all over him, because this is one of the biggest cases out there, and that does not seem to be the case. Remember, they put him in Gen Pop at first, and if he's still with Tartiglione, this is insane to me. Again, this guy is a quadruple murderer, a former police officer, again, very corrupt at MCC. The conditions, you know, are disgusting, but I'm not saying Epstein deserves anything better, right? But we got to get him to trial. We have to continue on this journey of information so we can bring more of these monsters to justice in this circle. And there's a lot more information out there. There's a lot more Epstein updates. We're going to continue to do videos throughout the day. I want to remind people that I do 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day, not only on Epstein, but we cover Nexium, Bilderberg, activism, technopoly, so much more here. We've even done a couple movie reviews lately and some MMA stuff. So if you enjoyed this program, if you like a voice that's not about left or right, conservative or liberal, he's about right or wrong, that's me. And sometimes I am wrong, and I will admit when I give out wrong information. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. But with your help, with your subs, with you ringing that bell and sharing this information everywhere, we are growing. The Burmis Brigade is almost at 30K. I can't wait to get there with you. And the way I'm doing this is through GoFundMe. We're a little under 2 weeks in, and we're a little under about halfway there. You know, we could do a little bit better, but that's fine because you guys are helping me so big time do this. And like I said, I'm going to be putting out 30 videos a month, if not more. Or, I'm sorry, a week. Why do I say a month? 30 videos about a week on various subjects every single day about subjects that matter with your help. So once again, thank you guys so much. Sub if you're new, join the Burmis Brigade, and I'll see you on the flip side.